Yeah, that's 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 our agenda for today. So if you don't speak, please mute your microphone. And what we have for today, it will be just briefly introduction. Me and Tony will go through some key concepts related to open source, and we will share some analytics based on all of your guys' contributions. So there are some good insights. We try to summarize and pick the answers were related to us. So, and then we're gonna take some quick break, and then we have a couple startups. We wanted to use just as part of ecosystems where community managers and startup, and we invited a couple of startups to pitch their idea. Sorry. Uh, and yeah, to just give you more insight and show a bit more about what's open source about, and also see the early day open source on top of some of the startups founded, and just hear from them and meet them. It's purely more, again, informal and more networking purpose, and everybody will have, thank you for your slides, 5 to 7 minutes, no really hard limit, but yeah, just try for the sake of time, be clear and short, and yeah, and just feel free anytime, just open your microphone and speak. So here is our agenda. We will try to, by 12 here, to finish, and if not, yeah, we'll try. It can be early, it can be late, but we'll try to be on time. So yeah. And here is me. I'm Sako. I'm currently based in Redwood, US, in San Francisco Bay Area, called Silicon Valley, usually in tech term. So my education background, I have kind of 3 masters coming with, I enjoyed different cultures, different countries, and as a student, it was really nice. And currently I work in one of the OpenGov called companies as a DevOps engineer. It's in tech, but really I have doing some side projects and here and there, and Gov was one of them I founded that I felt like, yeah, that was, I wanted to always keep sharing my experience and knowledge, but I really didn't find a decentralized way how I can do. I don't need to create anything, and then other people can come and do it. And we had amazing people on board, Shamsa and so on. They're not here, but I hope we have a good leadership team. Hopefully some of them, including Imim, and will be able to join. Otherwise, me and Togrul will share the board to speak with you guys. And yeah, that's briefly about me. And why we, it's, again, I hope you were able to go through the website. We came last week. We still have a lot to do, but we try to put all the works we have done. Please go and check if you haven't. It's there, yeah, that's community driven, and we want to help who has ideas, who wants to meet new friends, who want to build skills, share skills, for learn new technologies and get some mentorship or get even customers. So that's why we are here. So, and so far we were able to test 3 event formats, which are called Zero to Hero, Techbrains, KissConf. We currently video together on Techbrains, we called, which is a more networking format. We said 40, but it's not really up to you. You can change the format, but the idea is all the people are joining our invitation and they can speak. And that way, within a short amount of time, you end up knowing each other. And Zero to Hero format is 2-hour webinar. So basically, what is that? It's just any tech related person who knows good about the subject matter experts, we call it SME, can come and speak about the product, the experience process, anything related to tech. And KissConf, we call it Keep It Stupid Simple, which is usually over the weekends, 4 hours. Each day we do like 10 speakers, 10 different project leads or different people come and share knowledge, which is limited to 30 to 40 minutes. And this is, again, it's like conference, but it end up making announcement, pulling the speakers, pulling the people, everything takes within a week. So because of the time and velocity, we have the target, all the events. If you see, I also announced for you guys in this Tuesday, I guess. So don't take more than a week to pre-event, during event, and post-event. So everything can be documented in the website, how you can do it. And here's some of the open source projects I have been honored to get Google Summer of Code. They have a scholarship for open source project owners. If you're a student, feel free to apply it. I worked one of the biggest open source project called Nginx, which has currently 400 million websites are using. And we have, while I was in school, we built a project called Job Hacks for tracking jobs, which is currently used by university, and it's open source. And UC Lee Kalkite, one of my mentors for Google Summer of Code project, he's an amazing guy. And I just wanted to thank you from here. And by that, I am passing to Togrul. Togrul, can you hear us?
Yep.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. All right. Well, first of all, thank you everyone for attending on Saturday. Just briefly want to run about my introduction. So I'm based in Houston, Texas. I work at EPAM Systems as a solutions architect, mostly involved with enterprise architecture, which requires implementations of a lot of open source products as well as enterprise products. So I'll be talking a little more about open source and how it impacts enterprises. And obviously working with a lot of cloud, which is a little bit out of scope for today. But I have been heavily involved with CMS systems, and a lot of community benefits for CMS systems is that every member of the community open sources their piece of experience, I would say, and the more they open source it, the better platform becomes. So can we go to the next? I mean, my education, I hold a Bachelor of Science from University of Houston, and I have been in the web development industry for close to 15 years now. So these are some companies I used to work for. So let's go to the next slide. So I want to kind of start with this quote, the introduction to open source, right? In open source, we feel strongly that to really do something well, you have to get a lot of people involved. So the whole idea is how to, and I don't know if you guys know who that is. This is the founder of Linux. This is Linus. So with this quote, pretty much, we need a lot of people and a lot of involvement, a lot of traction, and that's how we're gonna build something very powerful and useful. So let's go to the next slide. Hopefully that quote will sit in and kind of throughout today's meeting. So why open source, right? Like, why open source? There's no financial, there's nothing in exchange for that, right? Mostly it's based on your passion and all the efforts that you're doing. You're helping somebody out there in the world, right? So what are the benefits? How can people be beneficial from open source, as well as how can you bring benefits to other people around the globe? So flexibility and agility, right? The more people involved, this tool becomes flexible. There's so many IT leaders and there's so many enterprises that will use it. And if they see that they like something, they might apply it in their business. And if they apply it in their business, they will come back and contribute and say, okay, there's so many people that have been contributing. We want to bring our experience as well and make it much better, right? Speed is number one. Whenever it's open source, it's open for everyone. Anyone can contribute, and then you can keep moving forward fast. There's no governance. There's no waterfall effect. So it's just fast, agile, and you can get new stuff out very very fast out there to the world. So cost effectiveness, right? It's free. Most of the time, what you lose is time, and that's kind of the cost, right? Implication. If it doesn't apply to your model, then all you lost is time, but you did not spend a lot of investment financially into buying some tool, right? Ability to start small, right? If you are a contributor to open source, you can start with something very tiny, push it out, test the market. It works, it applies, boom, it just goes viral, right? Solid information security. So with one of the greatest examples, WordPress, right? WordPress is open source. Everyone can see the code, anyone can contribute, anyone can make it validate the security. And if there's problems, there's going to be pull requests, there's going to be issues created in GitHub, and automatically there's always that. It's one of the most stable, I would say. WordPress, sure, that's a kind of a web developer. But let's take Linux, right? How many updates? If you're running Linux, you get updates probably every day. There's something wrong and it keeps updating, right? Attraction of talent. If it's open, people like it, they join the movement, and then they kind of work together. So you work with very talented people if it's open source. Maintenance cost, very minimal. And I don't want to focus on maintenance. I want to focus on the future. So future is kind of where everybody's going towards, right? A lot of companies right now are creating open sourcing the stuff that they use in their organizations, such as, let's take an example, Facebook. They created React, they open sourced it, everybody's using it now, right? And it's helping them improve their ecosystem. I know I've been talking a lot. Any questions on this slide, or should we go to the next? And I don't know if there's questions in chat, but I think Sako, I think we can go to the next slide.
Yeah, looks all good.
So I wanted to also kind of take a little pause on this one and kind of these are one of the most successful open source projects that we use all the time, pretty much every day. So I'll start with more like operating systems, kind of like Linux, Ubuntu, and then Apache, obviously. These are like the main tools that run a lot of stuff out there right now, in even in production. A lot of enterprises are using all of this. So it started very small, like WordPress, for example. The guy, I can't recall the name right now, it just flew out of my head, but the guy who started WordPress, he went to University of Houston, and then he built it as one of his projects. And then look at it now. It's open source. Anyone can use it. Anyone can just start building their website with I don't know, if you ever install WordPress, it's 5-minute installation, as long as you have a database, and good to go. Your connections are good. Firefox Foundation. I mean, most of the stuff that's related to JavaScript, to programming, is posted on Mozilla Foundation, right? It's free, open for everyone, and a lot of people can benefit from it. So with all of that in mind, kind of all of this, how open source can benefit, I think we're ready to go. Anything you want to add, Sako? Anything I missed, maybe you want to add up to my previous 2 slides?
No, all good. I think that's one of the top famous projects, which is open source, and there are amazing community around it. So yeah, that's really nice to see that where all these enterprises also shifting their reusable codes and so on, contributing to open source project. And yeah, that's really amazing.
Cool. Should we go to next? So open source, right? So with all of that kind of introduction prior to that, what are we kind of trying to achieve and build. And please, Sako, if at any time you want to jump in, please do. So main things are, we want to build egoless kind of community-driven project, right? We want people to collaborate. We want to build competencies around this community. Obviously, it's all decentralized, but at the end of the day, with COVID now, everybody working remote, and we're all centralized in through Zoom somehow, right? So we can scale and collaborate and have fun and build a really nice culture virtually, a nice community culture, and obviously without forgetting to have it all structured, have a proper kind of a data flow, and have a proper proper structure to it. I mean, fun is fun, but at the end of the day, we want to build something that's that will be actually useful, not just for a weekend project or like a college project that you forget about, right? How can we take it that next step? I think we can go to next.
Yeah, just a small addition here. What we mean data flow within community. So we want everyone speak in the same language. Like that means structured when we say some acronyms or terminology and you understand it. And we want to be indexed whenever we, let's say, because in platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, you see good information, but then you can't go back and find it. So how we can make it indexed that whenever community need, you can go and find it and the history. That's why we use a Git for structure and indexing data, all the issues and everything that's fit the way we want to see the data flow. And yeah, that's the way Torgul mentioned about the community culture. That's the one we came as a 6 things, what kind of community we want to see or be part of. That's where we came with this 6. Yeah, but they can be more, but that's the kind of our key community things we want to see in culture. Yeah, thank you.
So what is the motivation for open source, right? According to Wikipedia, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a hobby. So if you're a developer and you're coding on the weekend or in the evenings, so you're probably building either something for yourself, or you're contributing, or you are building something that you'll open source eventually, right? So main thing, it needs to be fun. You have to have fun. You have to kind of keep that in mind, that this is not a job. This is a fun experience, that fun activity that eventually will give you a lot of benefits. And benefits are you will be top contributor, maybe eventually. One of you on this call right now will be a top contributor in one of the open source projects, and maybe by building something within this community, you can learn and elevate, and then go and contribute to big repositories such as React or Linux or other projects. I mean, I'm just I'm mentioning those just because I had that on the previous slide, but there's so many other open source software. Also, it's advertising, great advertising. So if you come up with an idea and you want to pursue it yourself, you have a great community that will help you move it forward, as well as you can advertise it. And when you have a community, it's easier to spread it around the globe or within the network of yours. There's a lot of people in our community that, or not just in our community, in any open source community, there's people with that are different experience level. They come at different scales, and they come at different, they have a lot of expertise. So that way you can learn something new from those who already went through your journey before, and you can go through your journey into development, into open source and coding much faster, because they will tell you that what not to do, for example. I'm not gonna read every single thing on here, but I think one of the other things is it's a return of favor, right? So whatever you will learn, you can pass on to the next generation, your kids, your friends, your siblings, your neighbors, your or not your next generation, your previous generation. Like some of the members on our community teaches their parents how to code, and so yeah. Anything you want to add here, Sako?
Yeah, I think that's all good. So yeah, that's pretty much you also have a shared idea. So there are so many motivation to really start open source, but it's more for long term, really build your reputation and so on. It's and long career goal. And if you wanna just do more impactful and help others, and I think the open source most of the free and good start in the tech world. So, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. So what do we contribute, right? So you're spending your time, right? You're spending your time, and you are learning. There's going to be times when you will not know something, but the whole idea of not knowing is to learn, right? And it's okay. Like we all been there. We all had to Google and go on Stack Exchange and read something, and read documentation, and ask our friends, "Hey, what is this? What is that?" And even though we know in our development processes, for example, what is object-oriented programming, we know exactly what class is and what is a polymorphism. We know all that. But when it comes to coding and solving a problem, you don't use those terms. You have to solve a problem. And sometimes I don't know, you get stuck in the problem and you cannot move forward, right? So there's no shame that should be done. Nobody will be shamed in this community. It's all about collaboration, help. What you're gonna be spending into this, I guess you're gonna spend your electricity, internet connections, your time. Most valuable is our time, right? So, and it's okay. The time that you dedicate here will eventually pay off as a it's like I say it's better for me to not read some documentation. It's better for me to apply that documentation to an actual project, because if I just read, okay, this is cool, I know what a higher object component means, or but what does that really mean? Like, let me try. And so I start typing the code and I see how it really works, and then I can connect the code to a term in a documentation page. So this is how kind of you need to think about what you're contributing. We can go next slide. Okay. And what do we get out of this, right? What do we get out of it? We get experience, we get knowledge, we get big visibility. The main thing is, the main thing, what I learned in my kind of career and throughout development, you have a lot of friends. You get a lot of friends around the globe, and anytime you travel anywhere, you know somebody in that specific city, and that is really cool. Ideas, right? You get ideas. Like you might have an idea, but you don't know how to put it together. With working with existing project, you might learn how somebody already is putting together an idea, and you can take that template and evolve from it and grow and make it better. You make your idea better based on something that you've seen. Whereas the next bullet point is entrepreneurship skills, right? So you're gonna learn, because right now, as we see, all businesses and everything is evolving around technology. So everybody, back in the day, everybody wanted a website that just was on their business card and they had like a .com, right? Now everybody wants a website that brings them some revenue, right? So with that, what I'm trying to say is that every business in the world right now wants to be tech oriented, and with your ideas that you're trying to push out and you're trying to build your business, it has to somehow be related to technology. So your entrepreneurship skills will definitely grow when you're working with open source software as well. You will start loving people. You might start hating your computer that something doesn't compile, but it's okay. And reputation, obviously. You will get a lot of reputation in global technology. I promise you that. When I post something that I help somebody out there on Twitter or on GitHub or somewhere, I get some people's comments and I enjoy it, that I helped somebody solve a problem that I had in the past. All I had to do is just write a blog, or I had to, I don't know, just explain to somebody how I did it. Sako, you want to add something on there? You're smiling.
No, I think we get a lot, and the main thing, people, good friends, and like Toggle, Rasim, and all the people, Jumshud and Nurlan, all these people, most of them I haven't never even met in life, but so amazing that around the open source project we can come together and become really good friends. Even you don't feel really just online without even that traditional friendship level. That's really amazing how open source can leverage that. So yeah, I think that's it.
You want to take over from here?
Sure. I think there is not much to say here. It's more about, it's decentralized. That meaning everything is in GitHub. Everybody can fork the information, can have their own copy, can change, and can put the different name and go on. That's beauty side. It's not really depend on me, Togrul, or any other active member. Anytime we get overwhelmed, we can take a break, and then there'll be always people who can take the project to the next level and can move it forward. We are not the bottleneck for the project. That's an amazing thing. And because there is no salary and so on, and usually in community work model, what happens that you can just define your own task and so on. That's main thing, like it's saying in community work model. So yeah, are we good, Togru? So
yep.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk a bit about you guys, your contribution and where you're coming background from. So I will like, if you guys are feeling comfortable, everybody, let's first as a celebration to open the cameras and let's take a picture and smile, and let's if you guys are good, thank you. And yeah, I think that's the moment we need to log in, and in that, I will wait for, Amy, Gulnar, Princeville, Nurlan, Emin also joined. Okay, and Kesley, Nurlan, Princeville. Yeah. And are you guys?
Everyone.
Hello? So yeah, just as I say, it's informal. Don't really feel any formality, please. So Nurlan, if you hear us, Kesley, I think. And we'll wait for, Oops.
Hi, Sako, can you please repeat your question? I didn't get your question, sorry.
Yeah, I said that let's turn camera and let's smile and let's take picture before and celebrate our diversity, and let's celebrate the countries, the backgrounds we are coming from. That's really amazing to see all these shiny faces. I know it's morning some places, evening some places, but yeah, that's the beauty of community. So Nurlan, I guess he He might not come to, but yeah, let's please everybody smile. I'm gonna now take the moment. Pretty good. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. If you please keep camera on if you feel comfortable. If not, that's all good too. So there, we love the diversity, and that's one of the beauty side of open source. People from all over the places can come together, and we really don't have any labels. We hate the labels, any location related and so on. We think everything should be individual based, and it's all about you. No other external factors, I don't know, nationality, language, and so on shouldn't be barrier. And that's why we picked English, which is most international in tech, and we will keep it English, and that's the main things for us. And here is some of the question, and we try to summarize and how we can keep community engaged. There were amazing answers, still a lot to go through, ingest, and just try to pick some of the ideas among them. And I think the main thing was understand what community wants and listen what they are asking and looking for, synchronous, asynchronous communication among the members. So provide some educational, entertaining content and those different events, share new technology and innovations, content related, and from other sources, kind of go and do some search, research, and come up with something that in other places that people to keep the community growing and engaged. That was key ideas we picked from that question. And grow and measure community. There was amazing tool that I don't think, we knew in advance and so on, but yeah, there was tools mentioned first to check about it. And the main thing was, it's not just about growing community, but also take care of the quality of the community. That really there could be like, instead of 500, there can be 100 people, let's say, or but these people are really becoming friends. They know most of them each other. They really come together as a small sub community and really enjoy the community culture environment. So participation increased. So just keep posting and value creation framework. And if you heard, and measure as a, so basically it's all about continues to understand what community needs and what desire, and try to meet that that expectation. And yeah, that was key things. And just to track the metrics in weekly, monthly monthly basis. So put some metrics, but really there was kind of scale metrics to define, and or membership-based incentives, referral-based incentives. That's really clearly meets community expectations. So yeah, that was grow and measure community. And yeah, so whenever anyone has extra idea, feel free to interrupt, and let's, but that's based on the answer. So there was a question also, double social network presence. So the idea was via video content to explain what GAP does. That's a really good point. And even so, in the website, we tried as much to cover, but yeah, there is still room to improve. And all the other social networks should be redirected to Slack. That's a totally good point. And we should have different content in different social networks, not the same. And that's the best strategy. And humanize the post, add some emotional feelings. I would say that means to them, add small stories. That's things. And focus on relationship and helping the community. That's really what we value, and we should keep as our top priority, the relationship and help the community. And use tracking tools to analyze what works, what doesn't work, share story again, and encourage community build their own channels and come up with the ideas and really own it, and just keep building sub-community around that community. And reward system for active engagement or organize one-on-ones with influential community members. So it could be a bit not scaling, but it's really good to engage community within community, to have one-on-ones with each other and meet in daily or weekly basis around some idea or project. That was to answer. So community revenue strategy, we want to sustain community in longer time. So the revenue probably will be one of the things we will need to address. How we can do, obviously not charging the user, but more interested companies could just where there is a shared interest can help community grow. And there could be some open source project, or it could be for hiring, involve the companies from community. And we already had a good pipeline. Some of the founders, when they were looking for people, they always come and first look from the Go community hiring, or there are some requests coming to us from other startup members for internship and so on, and we try to look within the community who is interested. So that was one of the main things in that front, and check other types, see what others doing. That was amazing answer. That also try to bring and see from other community what works in tech community, especially project. And yeah, and goals, objective, targets should be perfectly defined and aligned with community. That were kind of main things. And organize various events, what we do and we will need to keep doing, but more in decentralized way, where we will need your help for the format of events we defined. And it could be other formats as well, hackathon and so on. But yeah, that's one of the things to keep community engaged, the events. And yeah, now let's start the journey. Now it's your turn. I think we'll just go with slide order if everyone is fine and if there is no any rush. And I would like just a couple shout out. I would like to Heller. I think if you have seen in Slack, it was amazing that there was one article. Folks working in Google and so on in top companies, they wrote a good article for Software Engineer Handbook, and she doesn't know any single Azerbaijan word. She took it and translated to English. When you read, it looks great, and I don't know what the magic she did, but really appreciate Heller. That was amazing, and we will hopefully soon we'll put in our blog. And it's the same time, Amy, I guess I have seen also LinkedIn followers, I think was like over 10,000. That's really amazing to see great people. And yeah, that's Princeville, Sandra. And it was really amazing to read your engagement in community introduction and your, thank you so much for taking time and joining us today. Yeah, and with that, I will go and let you guys speak. And just again, I know I already repeated, it's informal, feel free. It's whatever things you want to share, just please go ahead. Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah. So I guess, yeah.
Okay. Good day, everyone. My name is Amecha Marachi. I'm a front-end engineer at Zcrest Capital. I don't know if I'm clear enough. Sako, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear loud and clear.
Okay, so my name is Amecha Marachi. I'm a front-end engineer at Zcrest Capital here in Lagos, Nigeria. So from my profile, I said in my spare time, like I contribute to open source projects. So it's not something like I do every time. So just probably when I have 1 or 2 chance or free time, I just like go to GitHub and pick up a project that have like issues and see the one I can actually like contribute to. So sometimes too, I volunteer at conferences, like medical environment here in Lagos. And I also speak at conferences too I speak about topics surrounding technology and community. So an evangelist at Women Who Code Lagos, and also a global ambassador for Women Tech Network. Yeah, so that's just like a little introduction about me. Yeah, so can we go to the next slide? Okay, so talking about how we can share knowledge without the hustle of creating community and other administrative head, like group already have like a YouTube channel, so creating useful content on YouTube, creating like on Twitter now, we have a lot of like developers on Twitter actively involved in tweets and every other stuff. So sharing our content on video, we can also share the links through Twitter, through our Facebook, through LinkedIn, and also Instagram. We can also like make use of Instagram pages to like use pictorial representation of what we are trying to pass or the message. Like Twitter is mostly for like text, then we can probably use like Instagram pages for like videos, short videos, pictorial representation, and many more. Than Reddit too. So I don't really know much about Reddit, but I know that there's a lot of developer community growing on Reddit. So I believe that if we can actually make use of this social media platform, since group is like an online community, so all this, if we can actually make use of it, we can actually share knowledge without the hustle of actually creating community and administrative head. So how can we like build bridges with the open source creator and newcomers as win-win? Creators will get their velocity, users and newcomers will build present skills. So like I stated, they're creating a welcoming and respectful environment and being patient with them when they ask questions, which is this second point is very important. So like as a newbie now, you're getting into open source, a lot of them don't know where to actually like start from. So they get into a project, and I remember my first contribution to open source, I just forked the repo without even actually checking the without checking the issue I was working for. I just forked the repo and I started contributing. By the time I submitted the pull request, it was rejected. And they rejected me with the reply that which issue in particular was I resolving? And I was like, I don't know. So they were like, no, they had to like put me through that before you can actually like make a contribution to, you have to probably read the contribution guide and so many other stuff. So being patient with newbies and creating a very welcoming and respectful environment will actually be a win-win for everyone. Yeah, the next slide. Okay, so how can we continuously meet new people all over the world, sharing the same interests? Okay, so like I stated earlier, we have to actually share like quality content, because out there are a lot of communities, like even the open source communities, they are out there too. So how can we also meet people who are interested, who share our own passion? If we share good content, like great content that aligns with people, and share also resources like that can help people grow, and resources putting them from not being able to contribute like in any open source project to being able to at least raise your first pull request, and maybe it gets merged, or at least it doesn't get merged, but at least you made a contribution to, then like guides on how to, and different how to also blogs on how people can like engage in community, how it can be useful, and so many other stuff. And also tweets and hashtag, so we can use tweet and hashtag to actually meet people all over the world, and LinkedIn, and so many other stuff. How can we bypass the long queue of call for paper process and organizational efforts with the minimum? Okay, so like I stated there, like we can just directly contact the right person for the event. So for example, if we are having like an open source, for example, we're having like an open source conference, there are a lot of people we know that are they've built open source projects over time, and some people they do it as a full-time. So instead of going through the long queue of like doing call for paper processes, we can just contact those people directly and like, okay, we are hosting a conference, so I don't know if you will be interested in speaking at this conference. And so I believe with just these few points, I've been able to like share one or two with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy. Appreciate. And with that said, we go to Princeville, I guess. Yeah. Please
Hi,
go ahead.
everyone.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes. So I basically don't have a tech background. I'm a marketing specialist. I've spent the last 6 years building communities around different sectors in Africa, B2B, B2C, My most notable and recent experience in marketing would be with Ringia, One Africa Media, Jobberman, Brighter Monday Kenya, Jobberman Ghana, Jobberman Nigeria, and all the Brighter Monday brands in East Africa. So I've had a lot of experience with community management and growing communities, online communities, creating content, moving from just being a community manager to learning how to write content and do that successfully over the last 3 years as well. I personally enjoy cardio exercises. I love traveling. I love meeting people. I love being in nature because it sort of helps me sort of understand myself a lot better. Please, can we go on to the next slide? That's some few things about me.
Sure.
Yes. So with answering the questions, the first question says, how can we share knowledge without the hustle of creating a community and other administrative overhead? One of the things from marketing background I've learned is sort of creating quality content that is evergreen, so that you don't have to go over that again. And with a lot of adoption of virtual meetings and virtual conferences now happening globally, what you can find is you can find the right tools to make this content that we can create. You can make them virtualized. You can make them on demand. So they can be like webinars whereby we've recorded them once, but those webinars can happen weekly for people maybe who are just joining the group, who are just looking for information like Amachi had earlier mentioned, and that would always be accessible to them. That would also reduce the overhead cost, because you're not going to always, maybe you have a webinar that is an evergreen content. You're not going to go in every month and then you have to recreate that content and represent it again. Yes, there will be community managers whenever that session, that virtualized session happens, that will be there to attend to questions or to take questions and then give the people from the community feedback later on. So next question here says how to make it decentralized, being part of something you don't own. The way we do that way when we cannot contribute, others will. So one of the things I have noticed about a brand I know that does this really well on their Facebook group is Mobile Monkey. If you go on Mobile Monkey and ask a question, I can guarantee you that before the brand community manager responds to you, there are people from the group that will just respond and give you answers to maybe the issues you're facing, or the solutions that you want when you're trying to create your conversational marketing chatbot with Mobile Monkey. So I think that's another way to do it. Encourage community, encourage people who have insights in this community to always come forward to share their insights. They don't have to wait on the owners of the community to do that, and also letting them know that you're part of the owners of this community. When people feel ownership, when people have a sense of ownership in something, it's special to them and they get to even contribute better to it. Next question says, instead of writing a whole book or blog, can we just focus on one piece of it? If the options are only limited to a book and a blog here, I would always also choose a blog. But with video content pieces like we're doing here with a live recorded video, you can put this content as a blog post on the website, write a few captions, ensure that it's SEO friendly and all that, and you can publish it and you have a new content piece that came from this weekend. So I think those are other smart ways of doing it. I also think that podcasting is also another smart way of doing that as well. Next question says, how can we, instead of mentoring individually, generalize it and avoid duplicates, avoid sharing load with other experienced engineers? Sorry, I really can't see here. So again, I mentioned this earlier, by building a community of professionals that encourages ownership and inclusivity. I mean, if people know that we're part of this community, we're owners of this community, where they see someone who would someday become a top professional that is asking questions, they would sort of take it up on themselves to also mentor that person, because again, they would demand it from that person when they become a top professional to also pay it forward. Can we go to the next slide, please?
Sure.
Yes. How can we continuously meet people new all over the world, sharing the same passion and interest? I would say using great content. I mean, content is the vehicle for you to do this. Once you have the right content and also the right content marketing strategy, you'll be able to have the right tool that you're going to say, hey guys, look at this. You should benefit from this content, and you have those people coming in. Again, also creating ambassadors out of you really outstanding engineers in the group. They would also sort of help you amplify your message and your thought leadership in their community. When people see that, oh, this person is respected in my industry and they are doing this and they are sharing this content from XYZ, they are more likely to take a look at that content. So when you also have us as community members sharing this content as well, I think it would also be another way to increase that. Implementing storytelling strategy on our social media pages would be a great way to do it. Sharing our success stories, sharing how we're impacting lives. I mean, people love stories. We live for stories all throughout our lives, whether at a younger age or when we're older. It's something that human beings, as humans, we're all passionate about. So it's one of the tactics that we can use, and people would also be in tune with that when we share that. How can we bypass the long queue of CFP process, organizational efforts with the minimum efforts, organize webinars, conferences, networking events, hackathons, demo day, etc. Again, I mentioned that sessions should be virtualized and they should be available on demand. This will also avoid repeat efforts for several recurring topics that you have as a team. How can we build bridges with open source creators, newcomers as win-win creators? Creators will get developer velocity, users and newcomers will build and present skills. I think social media is our biggest opportunity to inviting these people in. When we also see people that are, again, thought leaders in their industry, they can come in and share content. When we're having them in our community to share ideas, to share their thoughts, we can also create a sort of content that they can share on their platforms around that. That would also be an avenue to invite more people in. I think this is the last slide. That will be all for me.
Thank you so much, Principal. Really appreciate your speak. So let's move on. Ismail, are you here?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, cool. First of all, hello everyone. This is again Ismail. I'm from Azerbaijan, and I basically studied my high school and a bachelor there, in the field of finance. Then I just decided to move to Europe, and I chose Italy. And I'm currently studying digital management consulting. But meanwhile, like there was a pause of 1 year. I studied and I worked in Germany, and I paused my studies in Italy. Then I moved to Germany to get more experience and a more culture of German education and whatever there is. And like during the Germany, first of all, during Italy, the first year I didn't do much. I just studied hard to just get rid of a lot of exams and whatever. And I just moved to Germany, and I was working like market and a data analyst, and I studied business administration there. And I have an intermediate level of German. That's another case. Now I'm I consider myself like a future programmer, and it's been like a year. I'm working on myself to learn Python programming and other stuff. However, that's not a case of I don't like creating community, sharing knowledge or something like that. That's my kind of second addiction, let's say like this, because I did like 6 months of community managing in a company that I worked, but my main job was like data analyst, like market data analyst. So that's why I like pretty much creating communities and sharing knowledge, writing blogs on different topics. I don't have any limit writing on whatever topic. I can write whatever topic. It's not a problem. And yeah, I'm a good negotiator. I'm kind of unsatisfied person. And focused. That's kind of very important things about me, pretty much. And moving to next slides. Okay, directly to the question, how can we share knowledge without hustle of creating community and other administrative overhead? Okay, social networks, that's kind of simple and short answer, because because everyone is currently on a social, especially during those like lockdown periods, everyone just, they got the value of the digital life. Now there are a lot of people more now than before. So that's kind of the communities, the people, they got the value of digital life. And during creating, it's important to have a really good content, and on the content timing and the topic is really important. For example, when I was writing a blog on my previous work, I just connected the topic, the blog post, with the coronavirus, the pandemic, and guess what happened? Like the visitors just dramatically increased, because it's like a, you have to get the right time and right topic. That's what makes kind of, it's not a little secret, but it's key. And connections, I mean like personal connections, like my connections. If I have, I mean not all connections, but the connections are important to grow your community. For example, I have a lot of connections, a lot of valuable people that I know in Berlin. It's a really huge startup community, which is called Görlitzer Park. It's like the most important startups in Berlin. They're going on this factory. It's like they call it factory, but it's not like really factory. Yeah, and of course, like I added like mentoring, coaching, and storytelling. These are kind of key concepts and key strategies to share the knowledge. And the second question that I think it's not clear enough. It's not precise enough, this question, but I'm gonna answer like how I got it. Okay, yes, we can. I mean, we can just focus on one piece of it. For example, if there is if we are planning to write about like programming language, the blog, programming language about a blog, and we can focus on like Python as a one post, or as a second pass, SQL and whatever, and this kind of making us serious. So focusing on pieces of the idea, it's really cool, because I did it again, and it worked. It's like a series. The visitors, the users, they're kind of waiting, keeping an eye on the website, like what is next. That's cool, but I'm not sure that I really addressed the question, because it's not clear enough for me. That's why I'd like added like cloud computing, like cloud systems, blockchain systems.
Let me bring Ismail a bit clearness. Yeah, sorry for the confusion. So just the idea was similar to this presentation, yeah, and instead of creating whole stuff, we can just write one chapter out of this book, and that way we have 10 authors instead of one author, and then we have a book with 10 chapters. So that was the idea.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's why I said like we can. So I got it right. Yeah, it's always good to focus one piece instead of the whole thing, because one piece just frames many things, and it's like more concentrated and more high quality.
Yeah, the main motivation for that is because like technology is moving so fast, the velocity is so high. If one person start writing a book, in 3-4 months this technology will be obsolete. So how we can,
it could be outdated.
Yeah, that was the main motivation of that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we can go next. Okay, continuously meeting people all over the world. I mean, I think the answer, because the community, for example, just on Slack, like there are people more than 400 from all over the world. That's kind of the short answer, like community. And the second key is I mean, I always say content is the key, and content timing, right content is the key. You have to write, you have to share right content on the right time. That's the key. And that's how you keep your community growing, and that's how you kind of continuously meet new people all over the world. That's currently what we are doing, actually. And about a decentralization, yes, that's, when I did read this question, that's immediately I thought about a blockchain technology, cloud systems, because on a blockchain tech, it's very common example of decentralized system, decentralized knowledge sharing or something, because you are kind of not part of it, and everyone is equal in the system. Everyone can contribute, but no one owns the content or whatever they share. That's kind of the short version of what is blockchain technology and cloud systems. And it's the most common and the most, I don't know, like famous version of decentralized knowledge and knowledge sharing. And and we can do like combined, because basically cloud and blockchain systems, they're kind of really good. The distribution is really good, knowledge distribution, task sharing, I don't know, creation is fast, accessibility is perfect. But if you apply like centralization, for example, if you do like taxonomies or classifications inside of the system, for example, the classification like programming language, then it has like R, I don't know, Python, Java, whatever. This kind of part of centralized knowledge, because you centralize a topic under the one classification. So it's really good to use the hybrid one, like combined one, to make it part of the centralized and the centralized. So that's, I hope it was clear enough.
Yep. Thank you so much, Ismail. I guess that was the last slide. Sandra, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you everyone for the opportunity. I'm very excited to be here. Well, I will present myself.
Yes. Yeah.
I have a bachelor in social communication. I graduated with honors from university. I have a postgraduate degree in web analytics, and I have more than 15 years of experience in online marketing and social media and traditional media campaigns. I have been working as a TV and radio producer for many years, also as a teacher at 2 different universities. I'm a freelance journalist for the biggest newspaper in Latin America, which is Clarín in Argentina. And I write for the travel supplements. I love traveling and meeting people from different places, and that took me to learn different languages. I speak Spanish as a native language, English, Italian, and some French. And 2 years ago, I created an online community in Instagram, which is Alacena Foodie. And it's aimed to people who love eating or gastronomic experiences. I really enjoy that. So if you want to have a look at it, it's at Alacena Foodie. You can have a look. Okay, so 4 simple concepts about myself. I am very easygoing. I'm very committed to what I do. I have common sense, which is, at least in Argentina, not so common. And I'm a very nice person. Okay, so we can move forward to the, oh, no, sorry, stay here. To start answering all the questions, I will try to summarize all together. So as you can see, there's a graphic on the background. It's a pencil with the different social networks on the branches. So I think that we can build a message by adding all these different branches, and that will build the message, the big message we want to focus on. And this is something I would really like to underline, like the common objective. If we do everything well, we will succeed in this common objective. And this is one of the most important things to have in mind in a collaborative project. especially in social media and online communities. Okay, now we can move to the next slide, please.
Sure. I posted your Instagram, I found I've just followed, so I posted also in chat if you guys are interested. Thank you.
Okay, so we have to think also how to make the community grow. First of all, we need to think who the audience is, and this is key. If we know who the audience is, then we can make content in order to make the audience being interested on it. Otherwise, we won't succeed on that. So it is extremely important to know the key features of our audience, who is part of that community. And as I said before, it is very important to know how to make it grow. So it could be by interacting among the different social networks, with different inbound marketing channels, with online advertising such as Google Ads or the different social ads on the social media. And then it is also crucial to measure that community. If we don't measure how it is working, we really don't know exactly how to improve that. So we need to study and to analyze all the statistics we can get to see how we can make the community better, how our contents are working, why they are not working so well, and we will be able to succeed with that. So we have like different keys we should take into account. Well, one of the questions was, how can we share knowledge? Through social networks, mainly with online groups and forums. And then it is also important to store all that information and make it accessible for the whole community. So in that way, instead of mentoring individually, we will save time and money, and we could mentor in a more general way. So this is why it is so important to have a good social manager, and that's why I think I'm the right person for it. Well, thank you very much, and I think that kind of answers a bit of everything.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Yeah, let's move on. And Heller, here you are. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Hi, thanks for the opportunity to be here. We are a little far away, but with the technology is amazing, and here we are. Well, my name is Heller Vargas. I'm from Costa Rica, the Pura Vida, the capital of Pura Vida. I'm an advertiser, I'm a graphic designer. I have knowledge in audiovisual production, photography, radio host. I'm a pet lover and a little bit crazy. I'm a multitasker, and among other things. I'm a very passionate person with my work, because I always give more than 100% in my work, because I want to be effective in my work. Also, typographies, colors, campaigns, inventories, budgets drive me crazy because I love them. And I have worked in small and large companies as a community manager, radio host, like I told you, marketing director, art director, a lot of things. And I have developed brands as a freelancer. And if you want, let's start with the other slide, please. Okay, I have selected 4 questions from the list below. And first, how can we share knowledge without a hustle of creating community? Another administrative overhead, well, beyond creative community or etc., knowledge can be shared, for example, between suppliers or partners or customers, or to cope with the technological changes and to solve the company's current market. Next question is, okay, sorry. I forgot that having clear information is more accessible to generate content of interest and that people feel attracted to my product or service. And next question is, instead of writing a whole book or blog, can we just focus on one piece of it? Yes, but it depends of our audience. Why? Because we must be clear about our audience. Because if our audience reads books, we need to share the information in books. And if our audience reads blogs, we need to offer the information through a blog. This is in order not to spend resources in a middle that we not use, right? Because if you want to have a successful in a middle that we use, you need to rather to give 100% in a single tool that will be successful. And next slide, please. Okay, the next question is, how can we continuously meet the people all over the world and sharing the same passion and interest? Okay, the world has been updated. So there are many tools thanks to technology, and hashtags is the key, and database models, because if I want to have a specific community, I need to have some bases and databases and hashtags to create it. And however, there are however, there are database models that can be acquired to connect directly with the people we are looking for. And the last final question is, how can we bypass the long wiki of CFP and etc. questions? Okay, with a person in charge of performing these functions, we can avoid the overload of work. Why? Because also with content of interest, that's I mentioned before, because this will help us keep people informed in advance, and at the time of the event, we don't have to give so much detail or information about the endings. And thanks for the opportunity, your attention. Let me know if you have some question about me or whatever do you want to know.
Thank you, Heller. Appreciate. So with that, we're gonna move to next. Let's see, Kesley. Yeah, please.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, I didn't write any introduction. I just wanted to get straight to the point.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question is, how can we share knowledge without the hassle of creating community or other administrative overhead? I said the easiest way to share information is using the internet, but not exactly as in only using social media, but the internet as the whole. So we can use, obviously we can use social media, but we can also use websites by creating websites, and also forums, because the easiest way for people to get answers to questions that they want to, let's say someone has a question, it's easier to get an answer on a forum rather than just searching all over the internet. The second question is how to make it decentralized, being part of something we don't own. So the best way is having a forum. So having a forum is much more easier than actually having a website belonging to Slack or having an app belonging to Slack. A forum is much more easy because you can even choose another name but it will make it easier for people to get their answers because it's decentralized and it will allow people to contribute information without us interfering with the answers or the questions. Next slide, please. How can we instead of mentoring individuals generalize it and duplicate efforts by creating? I said the answer is by creating a space where people
your microphone. I think it's a bit, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Maybe you can pull out the microphone. You can, maybe that's good. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, the answer is by creating a space where people can share information and ideas without any limit and making sure that the information is relevant and up to date. Another question is, how can we people all over the world? The easiest way to meet people is through social media and engaging with each other. It's much more easier to meet new people, especially during the pandemic. Meet people and communicate with people over the internet rather than meeting in person. Especially just like now, I can interact with anyone without contracting coronavirus or anything. Next slide, please. How can we bypass the long queue of CPF processing and organizational efforts, organizing webinars, conferences, network events, and hackathons? We can have an online session, videos, where different topics are discussed by anyone and can either be streamed or downloaded on their devices. I think the best way for us is where we can share videos or presentations, say machine learning, for instance. It's much more easier that way for someone to stream it or download the video, especially downloading, as it will help the person save what they need on their phone. So it makes it easier for them to go back to the video rather to have to search for the video again, data on looking for the answer that they should already have. How can we build bridges with open source creators and newcomers? The easiest way is for us is to, I think, a different array of people, especially when it comes to open source. Open source is anyone can edit it or create their own version of something. So it's much more easier for us to share on social media and bridge the gap between a developer and a normal person on social media. Just social media. Next slide, please. Okay.
Thank you very much, Kesley. Let's move to Chandan. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hi. Hi, everybody, and thank you for this opportunity. So I graduated in 2016, and since then I have been working on, I have worked on my own startup, and I'm helping a startup to build a team or launch their product or even in the growth phase. So till then I have, talking about the community part, I have built 4 major communities around the globe. One is for European market, a community for a startup or entrepreneur, you can say. Those who are in the earlier stage are looking for mentoring and all. So I created a community of 650 founders. It was a paid community, so everybody was paying like £15 per month. So it's a kind of a subscription-based community. The second community I created is based in India and the Asian countries. It's a community for developers. So I created a community of from 0 to 1600 for a Hungary-based company. So the founder were like advocate of open source software. They were like founder of Balabit, a company which was very big. And he's a Linux contributor, also the founder and CEO of the company. So I worked with him and I created this developers community for him. So it was a 1-year contract and it got ended this month only. So now the third company I am working is ByteDance. It's in the news everywhere right now due to this TikTok problem. So I'm helping them to launch their product in India and a tech product. So they are planning to launch. So I'm building a community of educators and people who are in the education business. And till now, in the last 4 months, I have created a community of around 800 educators for them. So this is everything about the community part. And now my own experience is except coding, although I started learning recently. But apart from coding, I'm good with designing, even UX, UI and all. I'm good with team building. I'm good with product planning and a strategy for growth. So that is what I do. And that is what I have worked with the companies. So next slide, please. So coming to the first question. So in my experience, what I have created till now, the community is a place like where people come and they find the solution to their general problem they have, right? So every developer has a Stack Overflow account so that they can search for code and they can do this copy paste of codes like that. Like this is a general trivia for the early stage developers. So like we can build a community. My opinion is to give something to the community, and instead of focusing a lot on the like people with experience, let's focus on the people who are in the earliest stage of the career, because they are in need of lot of mentorship and all, and they can be a very loyal and good contributor to these communities. So in the last company also, I created a community with like the student who are in college or who will graduate in like few months. So they can be a part of such community. They can get like free mentorship and all, and they can be a contributor to the project or open source. So this can be another channel. Like a lot of things have already explained by a lot of people. So this is one part missing that I am explaining right now. So focusing on this student community or focusing on the smaller community that we have in the locality, that can be a big contributor for our own community. Like I myself I'm more than in 20 communities right now for a startup investment and all, but I hardly check like 2 to 3 communities in a day because there are a lot of messages. So I check those 3 communities because there I get real information or real contribution from the founders or anybody else. So that is one thing we can focus. And of course, this social media marketing and content marketing is the key for any business or any community to grow. So I focus mostly on the organic marketing, like creating content and advertising that organically in different WhatsApp group or Telegram group or even Facebook groups, right? Even LinkedIn has a group where people interact with each other, a kind of a closed group. So we can share our content and information there. So that can be another channel. In talking about the audience, we are targeting this open source contributor. I believe Twitter and LinkedIn will be a very good tool because they are very much active on these 2 platforms, and even on Quora. Quora is a very good platform and it's growing really good. So we can focus on these 2-3 kinds of channel properly, and and we can do other channel as well, but the focus would be on this channel mostly. So this what I can say here. Coming to the next slide. Yeah, so the next part is now everybody is using this online medium of interacting with people. Even all the education system and everything is right now online. So those who are not engaged in these communities, now also they are using it one way or another way. So now people like there are channels apart from these traditional channel like Facebook and Google. We have a smaller channel which is growing right now is like Co-Founders Lab. So there you will find a lot of people who are in technology or who want to associate with somewhere. So we can target them as well. Lunch Club is growing really fast all over the world. They got a funding recently also. So this is a platform where you can connect with the people and have a one-to-one call. So those kind of networking platform this is. And this all Meetup is also a very good platform. Like Meetup was used for this offline community earlier, but now it is also used for this online meetings and community building. And the traffic on Meetup and these platforms are really good. So if you post one thing, you'll get real user interested in your community. So that can be a channel for getting a lot of traffic. So what we can create is, in my opinion, we can build a kind of a central channel, which is our Slack channel, and diverse all this community from different sources to just one central channel where they can interact. So that we can plan. Next thing is to bring newcomers. Yes, as I said, providing mentorship or education or anything relevant to their career can be a source to bring them on the community so that they can learn and they can contribute to the community. So that's all.
Thank you so much, Chanda. Appreciate. Nurlana, can you hear us?
Yes, hello everyone. Can you see and hear me?
Yeah, we can. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Is my cam on? I can see.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we can see you.
Yes, my name is Nurlana Mollaeva, and I think that I am the youngest one here. I have heard a lot of biographies and experiences from you now, but I think that my experience is a little bit smaller. But anyway, I'm studying now at business economics or business administration at Azerbaijan State Oil and Industrial University. And even if I'm getting a bachelor degree in business, I have taken a lot of courses about information technology, and I think that I will connect my future career with information technologies. I'm a little bit nervous, sorry.
Yeah, it's informal.
So
yeah, just feel free.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm very
exactly.
self-confident, but today something goes wrong. Okay.
No
I have experience in communication and people field, let's say so. I felt really good when I was talking to people and be able to help them because I'm fluent in Russian, Azerbaijan, and English. And that was very easy for me to help them, to navigate them, and sometimes give them necessary information when dealing with them. And I really felt good doing it. So also I can say that I had a lot of pages in Instagram, and I have posted a lot of photos and quotes. Maybe that was comes very inspiring to me. And I was in touch with my followers and the community, which was inspired by the same thing that I am. And I really felt good and passionate about it, doing it. It was like my hobby to connect with the community that consists of the people with the same interest as I am. So I can say that in my free time, I'm engaged in self-education in various fields, and I'm really interested in new things always. It doesn't matter if it's connected in with business or field where I'm studying. It doesn't matter. As I said, I'm interested in information technology, even if I'm studying finance and accounting now. So I will strive to learn something new. Yes, I can define myself as motivated, purposeful, responsible, detail-oriented, and I'm very overthinker. Maybe sometimes it brings me a lot of problems, but anyway. I'm very kind person and the soul of the company. I always try to make everyone smile and to create the topics for conversations which will make everyone feel comfortable and be engaged in the communication. So nobody will feel himself or herself lonely in the group where I am coach. Please, can you move to the next slide?
Sure.
As you mentioned in the mail, we don't have to mention the questions in the slides, so I didn't put them here. So I think that the answer will be enough. And if something is not clear, you can, of course, ask. And so my answer was yes, about the community and its creation. And I think that really the creation of the community is a result of the desire to share information. And it doesn't matter if you have the purpose to create community, if you have a really sincere desire to share information that you're interested in and to find a purpose for communication, the community will be created naturally. Because if you have a really big desire and very passionate about it, the community will really create it naturally. Okay. Next one is the yes, also is about community. I think the community is created by people who really seek to receive and gain information, regardless of whether they are forced from or not. And I think that is a key point in this work also, because if you are really hardworking person and try to always bring the best of the people, you're creating new topics, maybe a little bit competitions, and people are not interested in these topics and just swipe it, you know, slide it, it will not bring any success. So I think that for creation a good community, all the members have to be interested in it really, and they don't have to be forced in it. They really need to have the interest in it. And this is important to create a community between people who are really interested in it, as I said. Please change the slide. So yes, the next question was about the communicating and engaging new people from day to day, and sometimes it comes hard for people to do this, but I think that meeting new people should always be inspiring and intriguing, because each person can bring something new in your both physical and mental world. And I think that it's a big chance, really, a big opportunity to learn something and share and gain information from people who are from the different, from the country which differs from yours. And it's a really big chance that you can learn from them what you wouldn't be able to learn in your culture and in your country. And I think that it can be boring or I think hard. It's really interesting, especially for me. So I think that it will not take any problems for me when dealing with the new people and help them to engage in the community that I worked in. So, and the next question was about book, its chapters. So one candidate says that he hasn't understood the question well, but honestly, me too. But anyway, I would like to try to answer to this question. And in my opinion, depending on the content and the quality of writing the book, you should be aware of the overall essence and highlight the key points that really matter. And you can focus exclusively on them if the rest of the material really has nothing to do with information we need. So you should be aware of the whole topic and the whole essence, whole content. But if you have to talk about the certain thing, you can really highlight them and talk about that. But you have to really understand the whole thing when and then talk about the one small thing as part of it, you know. And I think that's all. If you have any questions, you can ask. And thank you for your attention and the opportunity to talk about myself and my opinion.
Thank you so much, Nurlan. Appreciate. Now we're gonna
My
move
pleasure.
to Onya. Are you with us? I'm not sure if he was able, so looks not, so we will skip. So probably that was the reason wasn't able, so sad, but yeah, let's move on. I think startup demos. So we are doing perfectly this time. We are still good, so we have 4 startups. We'll go order, hopefully within 5 minutes, max 7. You guys can summarize. So the idea is, now we heard amazing our community manager. Now we learned about open source and how engage community. Now is the next thing, just as a part of this ecosystem where we have the engineers, we have community manager who continuously engage and be part of community, and then we need startup or open source creators who come and create the opportunity for the engineers who build the skills, and for hiring, for building interesting projects or kind of sub communities. So that's why we invited 4 startup members to join us, and we will go in order. So feel free, we will continue without a break. Feel free anytime, just take time and any breaks you want. So yeah, we'll be recording in case you can later catch up. Yeah. If anyone, again, questions and so on, please write in the chat. With that, we'll go to the next team, which is V team. Gulnar, I guess.
I'm here.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. We are V team. We create virtual office for remote team. Next, please. We are 3 people at the team right now. My name is Gulnar. I am founder and CEO at the V team. Tural is my co-founder and CTO. Tural Mehdi is our backend developer. So we have more than 4 years experience in startup world and software engineering. We built 2 other startups. One of them got investment from Bring, which is a top accelerator program in the world. And we sold our product to 5 different countries, and we got lots of certificate grants from the world-class companies like a British Petroleum, GIST, and Client Launchpad. So let's talk about the V team. Next, please. Okay, you know that all of them are forced to work remotely during the coronavirus. You can say that it's great because you have more flexibility in your life, but it's not so great when you want to talk to your coworkers, because sometimes you get lonely. In the office, you just looking over and say, hey, quick question, and get an answer. But when you are working remotely, it's like, hey, quick question, and you can get an answer because you are completely alone. Let's take another look. During coronavirus, and when we are working remotely, if you want to talk to our co-workers, we have to follow more than 10 steps. Like we have to create meeting, share link, copy link, share link, give permission, and open chat, something like that. All of these are headache process, right? So we need the better way to collaborate, something that make feel us like we all are one place. Next, please. So say hello, V team. V team turns your computer to virtual office. It is lets you know, see who is online, who is available to talk, and then start to a video audio call, just a one click. Also, you can easily share your screen and cursor, and then you can start work same page together. Next, please. And also you can easily see which app your teammates use and which project they are working on right now. You can jump same page in just one click. So by using V team, you don't need any links, meeting request, and waiting around. Thank you so much for your attention. If you are looking for collaboration tool, next, please. if you are looking for collaboration tool like WeTeam, let me know, or you can easily reach out to me via these links. Thank you so much again, this event.
Thank you so much, Gulnar, Tural. Appreciate amazing since last we talked progress and Pirata. I would like to hear and see more. Hopefully with some other people, we can set some other time call and go through. So yeah, with that saying, we're gonna move to our next team. And feel free, also members, whenever you have any question, you can mute and ask.
Just I ask something that.
Sure.
We will be happy to anyone show our demo. We will able to set a meeting and we will able to talk each other. Please feel free to reach out and talk more about the WeTeam. How can we do? I saw a lot of people have connection with startup ecosystems, and we will be happy to connect these people. We wanna expand our startup around the world. And it's very useful and is a way to expand our startup around the world.
Yeah, amazing.
Thanks so much.
We are here and we have a community. Thank you. And we're gonna move to ERP Go team, Jimshud and Nurlan. Yeah.
Yeah, hey guys. So quickly moving to our presentation. So we are ERP Go, an ERP solution provider company based in Azerbaijan and founded 2 years ago. Let's go to the next slide, please. So it's two of us, me and Nurlan, has co-founded the company, me with a background of finance and Nurlan with a background of software engineering. Next one, please. So, it's kind of wrong, but it's vision. Yeah, this is about our vision. So, so what we try to do in Azerbaijan, I mean, as an ERP Go company, we try to make the companies use the latest technologies and actually help them use the latest technology in their day-to-day business, and this will eventually help them make a transparent working environment. Yeah, next one, please. So how we add value for the companies, for our clients, is by making the ERP implementations very fast and headache-free, and then we offer actually them the most user-friendly and modern software, and also we help them to develop their software rapidly. And about the last point, we're gonna make a small demo, and that's actually the most interesting part of our presentation. So let's go to the next one. Yeah, we're gonna talk about our recent project. So we are actually doing this project, and we are almost completing it. Now Nurlan will talk about it and share our experience. Please, Nurlan.
Hello, everyone. I hope you hear me well. So what's about Odulab? The point is, the problem is started when, as Jimshud told him before, like we are providing Odoo ERP systems to our customers, mainly SaaS and in a cloud systems. And there are some points with Odoo that there are customizations, and you need to do it with custom models. So we are storing our projects, custom models in repositories. So the point is, when any new code developed, we had manual steps which we needed to refresh the code and mount it again to Odoo instance, restart it, and so on. And we need also some IDE which you can develop your code easily. So mainly you have to install some I don't know, PyCharm or VS Code, whatever, and also immediate access from browser. So let's say when each time Jimshud asked me I need this to test this branch and this repo, so I have to do these steps. But we came up, we put all our experience to Odoo Lab. Next slide, please. So what's Odulab? Odulab is a combination of open source technologies and which is like a main Docker image consists of Odoo, Jupyter Lab, and Git built-in bundles, and orchestrated by Helm and Kubernetes. And here you can see if someone is interested, more features is written, and when we release, you will hear more about that. Next slide, please. And I think Jimshut will continue from this point for now.
So here's the visual. This just play on pause, please, Shako. Yeah. So here we're gonna now visually present you how to customize a view in a single browser and see the result just by refreshing it. So here is our screen, okay, and we want to change the string. And what we do is we just type the editor in the browser tab and just switch our screen to the editor mode. Now we go to the editor mode and we're gonna just quickly add our string, updated string. So we find our code, okay, and we just add the screen. Yeah, here's our screen. Yeah, and just again retyping in our browser, we just switch back to our software. Yeah, and just immediately we see the change in our front end here. Here it is. So this is so this is basically our view part. One of the examples how this eases our life. And Nurlan in the next slide will show another example. Please, Nurlan.
Next slide, please. And just stop, please. For now, just. So here also you can edit not only view part, you can edit, let's say, logical part, backend, how your system will react for anything as your imagination. So here we will just demonstrate a little changing default value of Bonk. Please go on, Shako. It's again the same instance, but here we want to change discount rate, default value. Now it's 0 to something else. Now our target is Python file. Yeah, we found our discount rate field and we'll add a default value. And we are just saving the file without even upgrading the module or installing the module again. It's just yes, now our default value is 2. And that's it from regarding Odulab for now.
Yeah, so this is basically it. And if you have any more questions, you can ask, or you can ask afterwards. So we have shared our contact information. Thank you for your attention, guys.
Thank you for this opportunity as well.
Thank you, Jimshut. And it's amazing to see Jupyter Lab from the web browser. It was kind of for me a bit first time. Yeah, I would like to hear more after. Thank you, guys. Amazing work. And if you remember, also ERP Girl was our sponsoring KISS conference, and hopefully you have more this type of events. You guys be around, and yeah, and hopefully the team will grow and you'll have more contributors from GOP team. GOP community. Yeah, thank you guys, and let's move to our next one, Swiss Army knife team. Vishal Ibramli, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you, Sako, for creating such opportunity. So yeah, I'm CEO and founder of the All My Taxes. It's a marketplace where the individual tax filers find tax filing providers and helpful solutions. Can you go to the next slide, please? So yeah, I'm based in Silicon Valley. I'm here here about 4 years, and I've been working many years in accounting and finance. So I got an idea about All My Taxes, and this is something that not a traditional tax filing software. It's something new. So we help tax filers to find easy, free, and cheaper solutions for their taxes. So there was always a problem in filing taxes in the United States, especially newcomers and anyone who have a barrier to speak in English, and the people who want to do some transactions, they have no idea. And we offer the solutions with nationwide CPAs, hundreds of CPAs joining to our platform and helping you once you are doing self-filing. So we also offer tax and accounting services to the startup founders and newly registered business. So in this platform, you keep your private information confidential. So our chat box help you to communicate with the clients, serving their needs, and if it's required, we can also provide training how to file in their taxes. There are a couple of providers in the market, as you know. There's a TurboTax, Credit Karma, Free Tax USA, HRM Block, and then there are also a couple of free solutions that you can, free and cheaper solutions for filing your taxes yourself. So our platform gives you the easy and free solution, and we help you to get it done by yourself. So you can go to the next page, Sako, please. So yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, I'm founder and CEO, and I've been working in global corporate firms and also global CPA firms a couple of years. And currently we are building the MVP and looking for the developers to join our team. And if you know anyone, they can be interested. So keep in touch with me or Sako. And I guess we can have some product ready soon in 2021. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you for the data. And just say that for most of the people around the community, Vishal is the main guy to go for tax-related questions, if it's company or it's in person, and he's really subject matter expert on that field. And thank you so much, Vishal. With that said, we're gonna move to our next US-based startup. It's called EasyMove. It's quite big already in US and get famous. And I really want to introduce you, Emin Aliye. Please go ahead, Emin.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm happy to see that our community is growing and we're growing internationally. That's really so exciting.
Yeah.
Good job. Kudos. So basically, EasyMove is a marketplace where we match people who need moving or furniture delivery help with people who own truck. So it came out with my own experience. I moved to States. I needed to move to apartment and didn't know what should I do, because in Azerbaijan I never moved, and idea was that people are moving to new places for the better life and for the better expectations. And once you're getting bad movers who is screwing you up, you're thinking why I did it. And your dreams it ruins your dreams. So idea was that, hey, I need some friend with a truck. How can I do it? With help of EasyMove. So just imagine that EasyMove is your friend with a truck, whom you can call anytime, anywhere, he will come and help you. Next slide, please. So product's simple on front end, but really complicated on back end. So on front end, you just tell us your moving or delivery needs, and also you tell us your budget, which is negotiable with our delivery drivers. For example, I'm moving from Chicago to San Francisco, and I'm saying that my budget to proceed with that moving is $500. And I'm finding, for example, Shako, he says that anyways, I'm coming from Chicago to San Francisco and I can help you with that moving. And I can do it for $500 or $600. So I am agree with that and say, okay, let's go. And I know Shako upfront. It's not auto assigning. I know him. I know that he's legit, his background checked, criminal checked. I'm fully confident that he will do excellent job and will provide outstanding experience. And once the job is done, I'm paying in app and leaving feedback. It's simple, 3 simple steps. And next slide, please. So we built a team, and I'm proud of team because we're fully committed, and all team members, as you see, immigrants. So they experienced it moving from different cultures, and they know what people feeling and how we can fix that issue. So I have experience in IT. It's almost 10 years. So I had also IT consulting company here in Chicago, which I grew up and got a statewide contract with Walmart, Sam's Club, and Gap Holdings. My CTO is good guy, excellent professional. He knows how to build complicated software. So also as our co-founder, I have my wife. So we had experience together, and yeah, so we had all that experience. So great UI UX designers and product managers, so developers, and really what we're trying to do right now, we're trying to build a community, because we understand that community is a power, and community will always tell us what they want to see and how they want to proceed with that solution, or give us feedbacks. And currently we're also hiring and looking for community-oriented people who know what's people's mind and what they want, and how we can deliver outstanding product and experience. I appreciate for giving me this opportunity to present my product, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Emin. And Emin is one of the, as our other members, one of the active members in Slack. Feel free to reach him directly if you have any questions or interesting, and as he mentioned, for the hiring as well. So with that said, we are pretty much on time. We are 5 minutes a bit left shifted, but otherwise we are good. And thank you again so much. And I can't appreciate how much I am happy feeling that you all came together again from different countries with different background, with different location. That's why we come together, and everyone hopefully were able to speak and to get idea where we are now. But definitely one of the goals would be for coming year also how we can go to 100K team members, which maybe sound crazy, but we'll try our best, and hopefully we can get to that our number. And that way we need more decentralized, we need more creative people who can come and build community around them. And yeah, and the diversity is important, matters, and same as the things we mentioned, how decentralized, scalable, respect first, obviously, and with that said, we'll go out and share LinkedIn in some other place, the event, because it's public. And as mentioned, and thank you so much for your time. And depending on the time of the day, I will say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. I just
Thank
wanted
you
to
very
add,
much.
as it will be nice to see some podcasting, because all of us, so we're driving, we're working, and we have headsets, and podcasting is my favorite one, and I'm always listening podcasting. Just
Sure.
real stories.
Yeah, we probably will having something in our website. We will start something
That's
for
awesome.
tech blogging and so on. And it's as decentralized. Feel free to take initiative, and yes, start something. That's the beauty of decentralization and community. We don't own it. Anybody can come, contribute, and own it. Thank you, guys. And feel free to any other feedbacks, and we will also continue with you in one-on-ones and to learn more about your experiences, and yeah, see what we can do together more. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.
Nice.